Welcome back to FACEIT TV. You're here with JZFB and Machine. And we are coming up next with another quarterfinal for you, iBUYPOWER versus VexX. Tell us all about VexX, Machine.
Ha, good one. Yeah, no. So are these more unknowns for us?
Well, iBUYPOWER are the strongest team in America at the moment. They took arguably Complexity's strongest player.
They stole him?
Well, I think he had more bros in the iBUYPOWER team, so he wanted to play with his bros. So they kind of did a trade, and Anger went over to Complexity, but didn't really work out. So their Complexity having a, well, let's say their roster's in flux at the moment.
Is that why they're not participating today?
Yeah.
It's because of the roster
changes?
Yeah,
their roster's in flux, so that's why they're not here today. So iBUYPOWER, the strongest team in America at the moment. They've got a Canadian in Steel on their team who did come over to the UK to try and make it professionally in Counter-Strike in Europe. Didn't work out. Went back to America and joined the strongest team. So I guess it did work out in the end.
It's worked out for him. So we're going to be seeing him play.
We're going to see them play VexX on Dust 2. VexX, another team. Not so
they
familiar.
Are a team. You've nailed that, but
they're a team. But again, we're not as familiar with them. They're not a team you often see, or maybe ever see on on the larger scale streams, etc. So it'll be interesting to see what they can provide on Dust 2. However, I do think they're going to be up against it. If, for example, iBUYPOWER, they have two strong AWPers on their team. They have Skadoodle, who was the original AWPer for iBUYPOWER, and Steel. I'm not sure who the current primary AWPer is. Maybe it's a map-to-map thing. But if they go double AWP on Dust 2, for example, then I would expect, just based on the strength of iBUYPOWER, I would expect VexX to be in quite a lot of trouble.
Okay, so it's on a map like Dust 2, where everyone knows everything, and we're going to be seeing a lot of kind of counterplay. It's a map where any team will see what someone's doing and respond in force. Maybe some. I mean, admittedly, most people know most things on most maps at this kind of stage of the Counter-Strike game, but there's always that element of surprise. We're talking about those Molotovs that people are still discovering new ways to kind of use the Molotov. Yeah. And so maybe iBUYPOWER are going to be surprised. Maybe VexX have been on the server for 6 hours strategizing Molotovs and Dust 2. You never know.
I think it will come down. I think a lot of these matches, before we get into the business end of this tournament, I think a lot of these initial quarterfinals will come down to who makes less mistakes. Like looking back at the previous match, we saw what were, in our opinion, a lot of mistakes from both teams, or a lot of things that could have just simply been done better. Now, I think iBUYPOWER, being a top team in America, they're a team that are going to make a lot less mistakes than presumably VexX might make.
Okay.
So again, it's going to come down to, like every game, but I think it's more exemplified in these kind of games. It's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes and who's the best at punishing those mistakes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what we saw the most in the first game, in the first quarterfinal. All we saw was, as soon as any sort of hint of a mistake or an indecision, we saw the two CTs remaining. They weren't sure if they were going to go for the round, if they were going to save, and that slight lack of indecision, also the amount of indecision, that stopped them in their tracks. And that's something we're going to see a lot of, is maybe lack of communication, and that kind of slip up is what's going to cost people rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you need to be prepared for those situations. But you are going to have marginal situations where some thought is required. Unfortunately for them, the T's were just in the wrong place for them to make a clean getaway, and they both died.
Yeah.
But that's that. So again, I'm interested to see who's going to AWP mid for iBUYPOWER. I kind of lean towards Skadoodle because
you're not a fan of Steel.
Because no, it's not. I'm not a fan of Steel. It's because Skadoodle's simply been in the team longer, and I think a map like Dust 2, if you have a solid pair of hands, like Smith's is for Titan. I mean, you look like Kenny S. Kenny S is the de facto AWPer for that team, but it might be that you might feel like Smith's is a more solid pick for Dust 2 at the moment, but that's a completely different argument. So we'll
step away from that one. Step away.
I mean, Steel has been in the team long enough, and they've been playing ESWC, they've been playing in Europe and so on. So I'm sure they have their solid strats for each map. But I do think it might be an option for them to say put Skadoodle mid, and then you can put Steel on B or on A long or the site. So I am going to be curious to see how it goes when iBUYPOWER are on the CT side. So I think we're going to be going into the knife round at the moment, which is going to be on long, and let's see.
Knives at a long.
Ooh, they've got logos.
Oh, logos.
Serious business, guys.
Yeah, that's how you know. So going into this knife round, Let's see
screw
who
the knife round. How do we pronounce these names?
Oh, let's have a go.
Mamin.
Nice.
BME.
Boomer.
Janori.
Yeah.
Fox, which is going to be an interesting one.
Fox.
And Nautu. That's how I'm going to pronounce them.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, you've nailed that. And then the other guys are actually kind of relatively easy names. We've got Steel, Dazed, Skadoodle, AZK, and Swag. Obviously, you guys heard about kind of the Orping dilemma with Steel. This is
awkward. How does a knife round get to this?
This is
like,
this is two teams who don't want to lose a knife round. That's what this is.
Yeah. No. If I'm the leader of the CTs here, I'm just going to say let's just go long and all stand in a line. Somebody watch for the flank and let's just wait for them, because it's really annoying to have to chase people around the map on a knife round. Like really annoying. And obviously, iBUYPOWER now, a man down, are going to go for the flank. They're trying to spread the CTs thin.
Ooh, they're working it though. Skadoodle.
Yeah.
Look at this. iBUYPOWER are just looking like the stronger team right now. Their patience paid off for that one. Look at them go.
That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, you don't want to get sandwiched in that situation, but they did what the T's wanted them to do, and that is kind of spread out. So it's going to be easier to kill them, and it worked out brilliantly for them. iBUYPOWER switching over to the CT side, which is something you see commonly these days. People, if they feel they go for the CT side first, and then clean up the residual rounds in the T side.
It's a good move, but the thing we see more and more is less of a bias on Dust too. This is only going from what I've recently seen.
Oh, that's a rude name for a knife.
That is a rude name for a knife. Maybe we should stop spectating Steel. There we go. Let's see what Skadoodle's got instead. I saw an Oathkeeper as well in regards to knives.
Oh, that's kind of cute, isn't it?
I like that.
Maybe he fancies that chick. She's pretty big, though.
I mean she could put him in his place,
alive,
probably. Yeah.
I think
she knows her way around a sword.
She looks like she does judo as well.
Yeah.
Might come into play.
Should mess you up.
Anyway.
Right, you should probably jump into this pistol round. Teams are ready to go, and so are we. Let's see where they take this. Obviously, we do see the Glocks on that T side. See where they're spreading themselves out. Spreading themselves quite nicely. Noto is going to be looking to encounter one that long. Skadoodle's there for him. In the meantime, though, Daze positioning himself nicely in mid. Didn't go down as planned. Fox is going to be progressing towards mid as well. So the T side spreading themselves across this map. CT side doing almost the same. Dazed paying a bit of a price for his peak there. Dazed not so much confused though, as he's going to be holding that mid, and look at that. BME goes down, looking for the second. Oh, 2 bullets, 2 kills. The T side looking pretty rough at the moment as they just get completely demoralized.
You know what that reminds me of?
What was that?
Have you seen the infomercials for Slap Chop?
No.
Okay, you got to look it up on YouTube. But the guy there's a bit where he's got salad in this thing, and he's like, 1 slap salad, and I was just thinking
that
of
that was 1 slap, 2 kills. So
yeah,
fantastic stuff. I mean, iBUYPOWER definitely have the aim. Let's see if they can bring the game at the moment. Now look at this. Oh, Swag's under some scrutiny on that B site. He's not going to be going down as Janori. I don't know how I feel about that name, but nice play. Swag responds and takes down the man who shall not be named. AZKs get 2 to wrap the round and put a bow on it. And look at that, only paying the price of just losing 1 player on that pistol round. And that may be a little bit of a representation of where this game's going to go.
So Vex were 2 men down and decided to just commit to a push. They bounced the smoke off the top of mid doors from Xbox, which landed in CT spawn, which means they can run towards B without getting shot in the back from A players rotating through CT spawn. Problem, however, is that both approaches to B are basically a funnel. Right. So you're going to be up against it, especially on the pistol round as well. One of the players on the B-bomb site did expose himself to doors. However, it did turn out okay for iBUYPOWER.
So look at this, 3 CZs. Naruto's already gone down. But Vex with this weapon, this powerful weapon, the 3rd best rifle in the game weapon. It actually does not rule them out of this game just yet. There's still though, the FAMAS in the hands of Steel is going to be a big contender. Takes down BME.
I just want to make a point that Steel threw his pistol there to kind of fake a flashbang to try and make the terrorist think it's a flash and turn his back to him so it's easier for him to run in and kill him.
Very smart play from Smart. This time he's actually thrown a legitimate flash. He's going to catch off another one. This positioning is beautiful from Steel. He knows what he needs to peek. In the meantime, though, CZ does heavy damage to Daze, as he's not going to be going down this just yet. 36 HP to his name. And this little duel, this kind of 1v1, has been going on for far too long, but still has stood his ground, and rightfully so. He knows that the T-side's got to come to him, and I believe it's going to be finally Mumin who finally does take him down. But I mean, that time has been wasted now. Only 29 seconds on that clock.
Yeah, no shortage of
nice
arrogance there from Steel.
Oh, Nori gets 2 in a row. Not going to get the 3rd. But that was it was close to the slap salad again.
Yeah, 20 seconds. The bomb is down, so it's not going to be a conversion here unless he kills both players. But I think iBUYPOWER are smart enough to not let that happen, and that was huge economical damage for them. I mean, you saw how aggressive Steel was being on long there.
Yeah.
But they
Didn't
ended
need
up paying
to be.
for it.
Was there a reason for him to be that aggressive?
He felt like he could really, you know. So why the hell not? He was confident in his abilities, so he just went hell for leather. Ended up costing them 3 rifles. They do, however, have an AWP on JuStUs in the third round.
Let's look at it. So he's actually opted for long. It's going to pay off. I think it's actually a bit of a risk. Looking towards no one really holding that mid area. Fortunately, the T side doesn't have really too much intentions with it. Here you go. They're all coming towards JuStUs. Crosshairs. He's going to be looking for one. Does so. Steal in the meantime. Double S. Nice play from JuStUs. He's just going to be picking them up 1 for 1. And now finally BME managed to put him to bed with that CZ. Daze was there to pick up the pieces with those remaining 2. Surely going to be retrieving that AWP as well. And they did, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted his teammate to pick up the M4 instead of the FAMAS, but he opted to grab the AWP,
throw it at him.
it was just there was too much to think about in too short a space of time. So much so that I can't even translate it
what
with
they
words.
were trying to do.
Yeah, but basically he should have thrown his M4 to his teammate and picked up the AWP. But they've got a FAMAS, but.
Oh, JuStUs, nice aggressive play with that AWP all the way down on short, and he actually managed to
he ripped his damn face off. That's what he did.
He did. I mean, now too, that he's not going to have any idea why on earth the AWP was there and that early, especially. Fox is here now.
That's probably the result of a boost from the boxes under short, so he could get into that position really quickly to get the pick. And
now, you look at that, the contrast from that. Straight away, they've gone straight back to where they need to be. Swag and AZK, the kind of double B combo. Swag's actually giving a little bit of attention to mid.
Vex are scared now. Look at them. They're just all waiting for someone to peek.
They're so shattered as well. The positioning. BME alone in tunnels with that bomb. That's a lost round if he goes down now. And I don't think he's going to be taking any risks, and he certainly shouldn't be.
They're not facing any angles here. 3 of them are stuck in mid. So they're lucky they're not being flanked at the moment. Although it would be a bit foolish for iBUYPOWER to push that far. But you know, the time is against them here, and they're not really. They've got the spec down for CT, but
it's time for Swag to be tested, I think.
Yeah, now it's gone.
There you go. Daze is there to back him up, though. This is great positioning. JuStUs taking down one in the process, but look at the response from the T side. They're all just trying to get towards tunnels. Bomb is now loose, courtesy of AZK, as AZK gets a second, and that shouldn't have been a second there. Mamin slipping up, fluffing his lines, as it were, and now he's going to be on for the roam. It's Fox. He's going to be trying to find some sort of safe location, trying to find a foxhole.
Oh, he's going to get shot in the back.
Keep himself safe. He's not watching his back. He's going to get caught from behind, and Steel's going to relinquish that AWP from him.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, why? You know, once the round is over, there's all of 3.5 seconds to stay alive.
Why are you going to watch the long push?
Exactly. Why are you looking all the way down there where you cannot be shot from if someone's going to be there, and not T-spawn where someone can turn a corner and you're dead?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a huge mistake from them. Let's see if they can stop making these mistakes, because as these rounds slip away, the chances of these mistakes happening is just only going to increase. So right now, I do have a couple of CZs, a deadly weapon that can really turn the tides of rounds. Fox, and actually from the entirety of the T side, are hanging around in that mid area. Bomb actually is elsewhere. I want to see what happens over there. Let's have a little look. Steel. Actually, Mamin's pushed far, and I'm not sure whether they know where Mamin is, because he is pushed all the way across to the container. I think Steel is unaware, and this could cost him. Look at it. He's absolutely no idea. Great play from Mami. He needs to get that M4 if he wants a chance at this round, as I don't think it's going to be allowed to, as great play from Daze is going to kind of make up for his teammates' misfortune, and then we're going to see another round on the board for iBPOWER. And as you predicted, I feel like I'm not being inspired by Vex right yet.
That was a quick clean-up there for iBPOWER. Yeah. I want to make a point about the round previous, though. When they smoked CT for the second time, there's the iBPOWER player who was CT. Again, being a top-tier team, they have strats prepared for this. So the guy who was in CT specifically threw a flash off the CT box, which went forward more than most flashes thrown from CT in that situation. So it allowed the flash to still hit the player in the front while he's facing B. So, you know, they're prepared for that, and they've got their counter strats. And that kind of practice is just a difference maker here. And now they're being aggressive. They're playing like JuStUs Pro. First they're passive. Now they're aggressive. They're passive on the eco round. Now Vex have a buy. They want to kind of shut them down and break their economy, put them back on eco. So you see the double peek through from long, and they've got the pick, they've come back, and now they're playing passive again.
Yeah, let's see where it gets them.
Oops, excuse me.
Just checking out his profile.
Just
checking his
inventory so I can send him to scam offers later.
Checking his hours played as well. So Fox actually looking to go towards Shaw. He might be able to get a pick on towards Skadoodle. I doubt it though. AKV AWP. And Skadoodle's already demonstrated his ability with that AWP. And Skadoodle's actually not giving him anything right now. Oh, he is. He's giving him a bullet into the brain. Fox put to sleep permanently. And now we see a very weak T side. 3 players remain, and they've really got kind of no direction right now.
Fourth time they've done this strat now,
and it just doesn't work. We see them come through double doors. Swag does go down, but I mean AZK, he alone could defend this bomb site, and he's going to do just that. Takes down one, gets the second as well. No question there that he is the man with the aim right now, and that B site is his. I mean, you go near that, you will be put down. And right now he's got the money to prove it. Look at that, he's got 11, make it 12 grand in the bank.
Yeah,
it's a lot better than the T side.
We need to see some different strats here from Vex. I mean, at least 3 times, maybe 4 times, we've seen them, you know, a lot of times pass in the round, and then they've put the smoke down in CT and try to approach B. And as you can see, the score is 6-0. So it's not working out for them. We saw a guy who was trying to solo push up A on his own. But I mean, if you just walk onto A on your own, you have to fear someone behind the boxes. You have to fear someone potentially on A slope or by car. You know, you need more bodies there to take the site properly.
Yeah, I mean, Skadoodle, look at this aggressive. He seems to be very aggressive on short, and at the moment, I don't know whether that's just his confidence, because maybe he wouldn't be positioning himself there if he didn't think he could hit it. Didn't, yeah, admittedly. But look at Swag. He's going to get caught facing the wall, trying to line up some sort of clever flash. This time, though, it didn't pay off, as Name2 took him out, and now they are going all out offensive on towards this site. They know that it's AZK's lair. He's going to try and prove it. This time, he goes down. Took him down to a scrap of health, though. Mamin only has 12 HP to his name. Does get the bomb down, though, so that's a bit of money in the Vex bank, but it may be a little bit of a kind of consolation prize, as right now the CT side are looking hungry for a kill. Skadoodle first on the scene with that AWP. Flash is going to make it difficult, but that's not going to stop him getting eyes towards that corner area. Flash is going to make it a little bit more of a achievable task, looking to find some sort of blood. Nobody is giving him anything right now. Charging towards this side. This could look very good for the T side. Fox with 1, BME alongside him as well. All onto Steel, as he's going to be the falling final man, and maybe a little bit life in the Fox and the Vex side yet.
Well, iBUYPOWER are basically just rolling in cash at the moment.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be too bothered about 1 round on the T side. It's going to take at least another 2 rounds of losing in a row to break their economy, and then they get the round bonus, so they'll probably still be able to buy for a further 4th round. Swag does get tagged through the now metal doors, RIP wooden doors. It's got 51 HP on B. AZK does get the pick on BME, though.
Wow, and look at this. Players taking their time. You're going to be trying to find one. Daze doesn't find anything but blood.
He's enjoying the taps through those doors.
He does. I mean, they're playing their position as well. Steel, admittedly, has been he's drawn the short straw. And
I think Steel's reading a book long at the moment.
I mean, he's been there every single round. And admittedly, I'm guessing his team are just saying, do not move, Steel. We need you. Because I mean, if they do go long, I don't doubt he's going to be picking up the frags. But right now, all he has to do is just hold that angle. He's got the complete, perfect, pixel-perfect aim ready for a terrorist head.
Look at what's going on with the T side now. Like, they're not forcing any rotates here. They're not putting any doubt in iBUYPOWER's minds. Like, Steel's just sitting at long, you know, painting his nails at the moment. There are so many things they could be doing here, just to kind of spread iBUYPOWER more thinly. But all they're doing is holding angles now, and no one's peeking the angles. And
but again, I mean, iBUYPOWER, this is it. They don't need to move. This is how you can play CT so passively. They don't have to show them anything, and as soon as any sort of aggression is hinted at, those flashbangs that come in, you saw Fox catch 1, and yet again, see nothing, absolutely nothing given to Fox with this AWP. He is going to have to go straight into that side if he wants any sort of frag. AZK, though, finally patience pays off for him alongside Swag. He's going to get 1. Fox missing a frag. He really shouldn't. Makes up for it with 1, though, onto Swag, and he's going to go down now. They don't really...
He's pushing the site.
I question that decision there. That was a safe AWP if he'd gone away towards that spawn area.
Someone has to tell him there are 10 seconds left, run away. But I mean, there are 2 things you can do. If you die after the clock has run out, then you get no money. Well, if on the T side, you don't get any round bonus if you survive without a bomb plant. If you then die and lose your weapon, then you're just really screwed. So maybe he thought he wasn't going to escape with his life, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think that was the best.
Let's see some
option.
Deagle action, though. I'm a sucker for a good Deagle frag. He's not going to be bringing on anything home, though. As look at this defense. AZK just cannot be touched right now. Two pistol kills. Make it 3 pistol kills. Auto Director isn't having any of it, though, as we are just going to assume that was fantastic.
Okay, so the problem I'm seeing from Vex here, again, they're not giving... iBUYPOWER are just derping along every round. They're just like, okay, I'm going to stand here and aim my gun over here. Because they're not being made... They're not being made to have to think about... They don't have to adjust. I mean, they could play as a mixed team at the moment. It's just all decide to stand somewhere and then, you know...
They have the patience that a team does have, and they're definitely representing that in regards to this double AWP strategy. See, Swag got a friend now.
Again, it's a passive play. Look, you've got one guy on his own. Again, he's just gonna... If he pushes on his own, he's just gonna die. Like, he's thrown a smoke, and that's it.
So now it's all on Fox. That smoke on towards CT is going to help him, but I don't feel like it's going to pay off.
It's a basic fake here from the T's.
Yeah, but basic fake, this is something they've been doing every round. They've been kind of hinting at short and around that area. Still no movement with that bomb. Finally going to maybe go towards AZK's domain, but we've seen what happened last time they considered it. Do you think maybe they need to learn? AZK taking heavy damage from that Galil. He's going to have to keep himself sat down. Goes down. Swag got the AWP though, and that's a threat, a real threat that this Galil might have to silence. Does swift work with that weapon, and now BME is going to be quite happy with that one, looking to relinquish his cheaper weapon for the M4 silence. And now this is looking very good for the T side. A simple split and pick, and it's paid off for them with that kind of fake through mid. And now Naoto will be holding steady as he knows Daisy is going to be coming from that opposite bomb site.
Well, Daisy is just going to chill out here. I mean, he's got 11k. I mean, look at the money.
He could try. I don't see why he's not.
Yeah, it's worth him just going to do economical damage. To just try and shoot as many as possible.
Get the AWP out of man himself.
There's... I mean, if he dies, what, he might get someone like $300 or something? Like, it doesn't really matter. Just go and... I don't know. But maybe he fears he's going to get AWPs if he goes down. But, I mean, even then... I think if you AWP someone, you get $100 or something, $150. So
hey, that's a nice meal for 2.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't know. Anyway, let's just move on from that.
Let's move on from the $100.
Yeah,
let's see what iBUYPOWER.
They've got their second round, but as I was saying before, like I haven't seen a single approach up long or a smoke to kind of bring another player there.
It's true, we haven't seen action down long. Well, we know that by just looking at Steel's frags. The man hasn't done or really seen anything at the moment. Fox has actually been put into quite a good position, courtesy of his teammates. Flash one towards CT. He's going to be dropping down. He's going to find one, make it 2. There's 2 players around that CT area. This time is going to be an aggressive play. I believe it's going to be from JuStUs. He's going to be put in his place by Nori.
Nice positioning there by Nori.
Yeah, and so now with the last man standing, Steel, last man standing. And I mean, there's very little health to his name. He's going to be falling to Fox. Not bad from Vex there, I have to say.
See, last round, Daze was like, nope, I'm going to stand here. But still had like 8 HP, and he looked like he was going for it. So, I don't know, some
interesting decision making. Is that what you're going to highlight?
At this point, I think their safety cushion is pretty fat, and they're not that bothered with doing things that make sense all the time.
Okay, so Steel wiggly around. Let's see where the bomb is. Bomb is actually in the hands of Mamin, or it's going to be around spawn. So the T side, no rush to this push again. You're still alone. Desperate for that long push. I feel like Steel is too.
I just wanted to say forever alone over there. He's just standing in the corner.
He is. Look
at the aggressive short play here now.
No, but he's been doing this again and again, and every single time JuStUs puts him in his place, he's not going to learn. It's almost become one of those revenge things where he's lost it every single time. Now he feels like he has to go and actually pick up the frag.
It's like they have a standard setup that doesn't include going anywhere near here.
No.
It's just all about this for them, and one guy standing here sometimes with the bomb. But, you know, look at the score. It's 8-3. It's like, at least against this team, it's not working. Something needs to change. But, again, it's just, they're playing so passive. I like my drawings, actually, but I think it's time for them to go. They're playing so passive, and, you know, all they're doing is losing time that they need. So iBUYPOWER just quite happy to just chill out, eat some biscuits, you know.
Well, they just have to hang steady. Right now, they're going in straight towards AZK's cross. So the man is such a demon at holding this site. Does actually go down without taking down a second. So That's going to be good news for the T side. Bomb's going to be coming in. Looking to rotate, though, is Swag. Here he is. He's looking good. Bomb is now loose. Nori's going to be upset with that one. And now 3-2. T side weak at the knees. And this is a very swift rotate, though, from the CT side. Swag picks up the remaining 2, doing the job that AZK couldn't. And we see 9-3 on the board. iBUYPOWER demonstrating, well, both their power and their patience in sitting around ready for that rotate through mid.
Yeah, so I think, again, this is just a lot of tape for Vex. There's a lot they can learn from this match. There's a lot they can learn from this match, but yeah, I don't know what to say at this point. I mean, look, again, it's exactly the same thing. One guy here, all about this area. Fox might go up here on his own. Still forever
Doesn't
alone.
Need to move, he'll just rotate.
Just standing in that cupboard over there.
It's a very straight line you used to. Very
Thank you very
line.
much.
Wow, that's
Thank
impressive. So, I mean, away from straight lines, let's have a little look what's going on where the T-side seem to constantly be throwing their bodies. It doesn't really work out for them. They'll get a couple of lucky picks. Not this time, though. AZK's here to back up his buddy Swag, and I think he's going to be falling, though. Nice work with the Jalil. Now does make that weapon work for him, but I think it's going to come a little bit too soon. Fox is there to pick up the pieces. 3v2 now. Numbers favoring that T-side. They can't get rid of this one as the bomb goes down as well. iBUYPOWER now need to get a wiggle on towards that site, and it's going to be a big exchange. Steal 50% health, or even less, 40 HP to his name after that exchange, and now they know with that smoke going in towards him, he's going to have to push up towards these doors.
I feel like Vex fear the AWP.
That's a good point.
Why they
is that why they're not going long?
I can only imagine, but man,
exchanging the smoke. It's all a 1v1. The bomb needs to be defused, though. Skadoodle knows it. He's going for the defuse. And nice play from Mamin. Not kind of fluffing his lines and rushing in with that the kind of question of that defuse going in.
The way the smokes work at the moment, I doubt the guy in the smoke could see the guy who was on the outskirts of the smoke, even though, you know, he could see vice versa. One thing about spectating in Counter-Strike at the moment as well, it's really peculiar, but if you're watching someone who is in smoke, you can see more than they can in the smoke.
Oh, really?
If I'm alive and I'm in the smoke and my teammate's dead, he can see more in the smoke than I can.
So if someone's standing next to me, your teammate then?
If someone's standing next to me in the smoke, my teammates who are dead can see it, but I can't see it.
So that's something
that's just bizarre and kind of broken. But there we go.
I think Steel might finally have some action in long.
He's dead.
Oh no! The one time he had a chance to do something on Long, it's already gone down. And in the meantime, it's just going to be Naoto going to be walking straight into Skadoodle's aim.
These guys love to stand mid.
They know. Well, I mean, it's just Fox's obsession with that short area. Manim is going to be charging in. Let's have a little look at him.
Dual A push coming up. This is good. This is good.
You say it's good. I don't know. Skadoodle's going to be the man who's going to have to determine where this round goes. He's going to come straight. He's actually got a bit of low health. He's being watched perfectly. Nice play from Mamin. In the meantime, Janori? Yeah, we're going Janori. And he's going to be meeting the last man. Meeting his match in CT. That was a fantastic slow push from Vex. You said it yourself. 9-5.
What's quite interesting there is Mamin was on shorts and was the only guy on their team who had a smoke. And bearing in mind, they were basically 2.5 of them short because one of them was kind of hovering around mid. 2 guys definitely short, 1 guy long. And he could have used that smoke in a number of ways to help his team push the site. But it doesn't look like they really have those kind of strats in their team. So maybe they're a mixed team. Who knows? But maybe after the match, we'll demonstrate some ways where he could utilize a smoke during a push on A to kind of, you know, make it easier on them and deny vision to the CTs. Oh, iBUYPOWER on an eco. Oh, that's not an eco round.
Oh, goodness me. iBUYPOWER using their pistols. Want to kind of prove a point here. Swag does have a CZ. See what he's going to find. They are doing this kind of split through mid towards that site. Steel's pushed up with a 5-7.
Last round of the half, so it is a 4-5 for the iBUYPOWER team here. Not everyone has a helmet.
Look at them go. Mamin making progress through towards... Oh, excuse me? Skadoodle. Well, it into Naoto's brain. Is going to put him to sleep. And now Fox does finally take down Skadoodle. But look at the price he paid. 19 HP. And with a deadly 5-7 on the other side. Naoto's saying nice shot in chat. And justifiably so. And look at this, man. Nice play onto Steel. Last man standing is Days. I don't think he's going to be doing too much, especially with the aim that Mamin is exploiting is the word I was looking for. There we go. Right now. And it's going to go to 9-6.
Vex managed to bring it back to 9-6, yeah,
that's reasonable.
That's considering how that was going. I mean, I don't know where they got those 4 rounds from, but I'm glad they did. So hopefully we're going to have more of a match on our hands. It is going to be difficult for them, though. I mean, they've got to have strats on the CT side, or they're going to be smoked like kippers. Yeah.
Yep. I don't like smoke kippers. Are you a fan?
I don't think I've ever had a smoke kipper. I've just watched a lot of Red Dwarf. Yeah.
Stoke me a kipper.
I'll be back for breakfast.
He knows. Nice.
Oh,
right,
yes.
so Red Dwarf aside, let's see where this round is going. Important one for Vex. If they can secure this could bring them to that level playing field they've been so hungry for. 9-6. iBUYPOWER obviously certainly have the aim advantage, but if Vex can catch them by surprise, that could be where the round goes. This seems to be very reminiscent of what Vex had been doing. This time Fox comes out on top, though. And look at this action in long. AZK looking to do some damage. Actually missing a considerable amount of bullets. Does manage to finally do some damage to Nori, and he's going to be a little humiliated returning back towards CT spawn. Going to be boosted up, though.
Tapping a bit too fast there. I would
slow it down.
Read,
like that
read from the book of Scream on that one. It just tap master on pistol rounds. Yeah. All you need is 1 shot to the head, so it's not point even going tap 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 tap. Just aim for the head, 1 click, all you need. Although the discipline is easier said than done, but it's the truth. Yeah,
it's all about that snap aim. We've seen some real demonstrations already this tournament. I'm sure we'll see more as we close in towards that final. This is, of course, yet another quarter. We've got the semi-final coming up after that. Look at that boost, catching them by surprise, or not so much, actually. Great positioning from, I believe it was Fox, but he went down, as did Nautu. And that is real play from iBUYPOWER. Still, though, numbers not favouring them. Swag and Daze, the only 2 remaining players. Daze is on a prowl, and he's on a mission. He's not going to succeed, though. BME is there, and it's BME with a second as well. Big play from Vex, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered now for Vex.
That is a crucial round for Vex.
Money in the bank.
Now, they're in a good position to bring this back to 9-9 here. No plant for iBUYPOWER, so they're going to be very limited on their eco purchase here. All we're looking at really is, well, they've gone for 5 flashbangs of smoke and some P250s and a pea shooter. So I think they're going to go. I think the aim of this round for them is get the bomb down. If they win the round afterwards, it's a bonus. But the priority is get the bomb down by next round, judging by all the flashbangs they've bought on this.
So yeah, all it is just disorientating those CTs enough to kind of crack into the site. That smoke's going to make the cross difficult. Not if Fox positions himself where he has managed to evade that flash as well.
He's over-rotated. They're going on short.
This is a fantastic, cheeky play from the iBUYPOWER. They know the positioning, but never mind. BME is going to be doing some AZK work or something of that caliber already. Skadoodle's positioning himself for the plant. BME with a vital frag onto that bomb carrier as he's going to be going down. Still finally taking down that defensive CT player. Daze in with that plant, and mission complete in regards to that CT side. I mean, sorry, the T side. And now it's just a question of, can we take any weapons out of their hands? I think the answer to that might be no. Daze has changed his mind, though. And a great round from the T side in regards to getting that bomb down. And yet another on the board for Vex. It looks a little weak. I mean, you're right about that clever play. That was more a clever play from iBUYPOWER rather than perhaps the over-rotate that it looked like Vex were doing.
I think that round is a good example of the difference in the level that these two teams are at. Because I mean, for me, not that I'm at iBUYPOWER's level, obviously I'm not, but there was, maybe as someone who sometimes is an in-game leader, there's a fairly reasonable chance for me that that's a fake.
Yeah.
If you see a smoke and nobody's in mid, that's probably going to be a fake. Also, if you're around the mid area, you can hear them on short. You can hear them running around as well. So I think they could have done a lot better to stop that bomb plant. The guy was just on his own on the bomb site there, and I mean he had a teammate on long who probably wanted to try and hold long. But another option was, if he had nades, was to try and counter flash, throw sights up onto plat. Sorry, his teammate can hide behind the box so he doesn't get a flash, and then peek once the flash comes out. But again, I don't know if these guys are a mix or what, but obviously they haven't practiced these kind of maneuvers, these strats on either side. Okay, well, at the moment it's looking to be quite a slow pick and play. Obviously the two FAMAS are on the CT side, Fox and Nori behind them. It's Llama Central on that AK. See what's going on, Dave. Here comes the smoke to smoke CT. Are they going to fake again? I think they are. That's a prime example of exactly what you're talking about. That smoke going crazy. He's like, oh, it's coming! It's coming! The answer to that is no. AZK, a resounding play from him. Kind of reminding them that he is present in that mid area. Takes down 2, going to be retrieving that bomb now. And look at this, push from Swag. He's going to punish, and Mamin's going to be kicking himself. The second he looks away from that site, Swag positions himself. And that's not timing, that's just complete class. And that B site is now wide open. Mamin is going to be shouting
his head off in chat. And we're going to see just BME last man standing. And look where he's been caught off guard. He's completely left on the other side. He doesn't really have anything up his sleeve. And that's going to be a fantastic play. Credit to iBUYPOWER in both their shot caller. I don't know who it is, but he's doing the right things right now.
That was a great play from iBUYPOWER. They threw the smoke for the fake. I think they jumped up and made some noise on short, and then pushed through mid.
Yeah.
And then pincered through B tunnels as well.
I mean, that tunnels was that was what secured the site.
Yeah, it was an excellent strat there from iBUYPOWER, and it's just a case of tactics. If you're more well prepared, you have a better chance, and that's a clear example of where that can come off. You know, they took the information from the previous round where they threw the fake and sold them down the river. Then they played with their minds on that. They threw the fake. Then it was a double fake, and they did push through B. It was just great play from iBUYPOWER there.
Look at this, the weapon you hate to love and love to hate. It's going to be the CZ, 4 of them bought for the CT side, as Vex are going to be trying to not get caught out by those flashes. Looks to be actually quite well positioned from BME. Knows he's managed to retain that M4 from the previous round, so he's going to have some pressure on towards long. In the meantime, though, where are those T-side considering? Are they going to be heading out? It's the AZK's the man in the exchange on long. In the meantime, Daze is going to be heading towards short. This could be the dummy, though. Could be trying to bring that attention away from long. But 3 players from the CT side are all pushed up towards that long area. Does that mean, is AZK managing to bait them that much?
The over-rotation
it's
on the CT
horrendous.
is immense.
Why are they putting all of those defensive eggs in that basket? We'll never know. Swag sitting steady. Look at that positioning from him. He knows exactly what he needs to do. And yet again, Swag taking a back seat of this round. AZK on the prowl. Oh, he's got one. Oh, and the surprise element did pay off. BME lasted just a couple of seconds longer, though. Skadoodle behind that one. Molotov doesn't quite succeed. Fox does, though. Onto Steel, and he's going to be playing that quite nicely. Gets an AK into his hands, and it's a pretty blingy AK at that. 3-3. 8-3-2 by Swag in mid, holding towards that tunnels area. And look at the patience this man. Like every time I switched to him, he stood still, holding the right angle. And this time, he came into fruition with a frag. Well, that sounds lovely. Fruition to a frag.
So you could see the iBUYPOWER, they had 2 guys on long. They both ran back towards... Oh, he's going to get caught with his pants down. Oh, dear. He's exposed his Todger and he's died. It's going to be a 2-on-2. All people with AKs now. This could go either way. Yeah, but there's 10 seconds left. Can they get the bomb down?
That's the question. I think Daisy is looking to answer it, though. He doesn't have the bomb in his hands, and he's going to be just playing it for the frags. iBUYPOWER. That is not iBUYPOWER. That was a slip-up from Vex. What? They didn't need to be as exposed as they were there.
Yeah, that was an interesting round. They chose to face when...
Maybe they didn't.
I mean, I don't know if they were aware of where both players were
on
the iBUYPOWER side. They probably weren't, but if one guy's planting, then that's one less AK you're going up against. So that's something you need to think about when you choose when to face. With 10 seconds left, it's kind of... You want to force the other team to plant and then apply the pressure. Even if they fake plant, at least it's a more difficult situation for them than if they're just standing around.
Look at this play in mid again. This is something iBUYPOWER are doing a lot of. Something actually what we saw Vex try and do as well. Maybe this is just a better example of it. iBUYPOWER putting those bullets and smokes towards that mid area. This time Fox is looking to catch him off with the Deagle. Oh, hello. Tag 50 health gone already. 1 bullet from AZK was all it took.
So he's going back. He's using the range since he has the rifle. But he gets the 1D.
Wow, sit down. Fox takes him down. And Skadoodle responds in 4-2 Naoto. Look at this exchange yet again. Mamin's going to be picking up 1. Not going to get the second. The CZ, despite its power, does have to reload. And we see Nori actually demonstrating that he doesn't need no CZ in his life. Doesn't need no man. And now where is Swag when you need him? He's on that site. Bomb is loose, though, and that's going to be a big challenge for him now if he wants a chance at this round. I think he's going to go for it. I think he's got the confidence to at least try and get that bomb down, if not win the round. Smoke's going to make it easier for him. Nade as well, looking towards CT. He's looking in all the right places. He's going to find anyone, those cautious play from Fox. He's going to find him. Fox gets the better of him. A great round from Fox, and a round they really needed to win for Vex.
I just want to point out that even though Swag lost that round, like, to see how smart he played that, like he was getting shot through the B doors, and he's getting tagged, but he knows he's getting shot through the B doors. He knows the guy is not actually facing him, so he doesn't need to turn around and then get shot in the back by the guy at CT. A lot of people in that situation might turn around and be like, "Oh, I'm getting shot from the back," but you know, he had the temerity to hold his focus on the person he is facing, not the person who he's not. And that, again, that's one other point that some people can take away. They need to be aware of where they are, and even though he couldn't see his enemy behind him, he knew where he was, so he didn't have to turn around at that point.
That's good stuff from him. I see an AWP. I think that's the first AWP we've seen from the Vex side on this half. It's in the hands of Fox, and Fox is on the prowl, looking to find one. Swag shows his face.
Did you see the bait, though? Did you see the bait from iBUYPOWER? Exactly. Everything they do is deliberate, and it's making the difference. Although it is 11-9, but you know they're doing all the right things here, even on the eco rounds. They're not just rushing and wasting it. Everything is with a purpose.
Yeah, it's paying off right now. Look at this play. Steel picks it up on this eco. You have to bear that in mind right now as we go into this one. No armor on that T side. That's how they're dropping quite as fast as they are. Now was on to SkDoodle as he's going to be ready and waiting for this peek through mid. I believe it's Steel dancing with the Glock in hand. He's going to get tagged. Not going to get away scar free. Now 4 versus 3.
But again, look, BME's coming to play the close-up game on an eco round. When he has an AK, he doesn't need to go that close.
So he needs to play the distance. I mean, we saw an example of that before, so they just need to kind of keep their distance. Nobody's doing it just right. Look at the distance, though. He catches him off, and that's prime example of why he wants to maintain his distance. Takes down Daze. Nice play from BME as well. And just the last man to find his AZK. He gets the bomb down, and that's something he didn't need to be able to do. Nice play in the meantime to kind of mop it up, but I mean, that's a CT mistake. And with that money in the bank, we're going to see a nice full buy from iBUYPOWER next round.
Yeah, so again, we mentioned before, well, the CT's won, but it was an eco round. But, you know, the iBUYPOWER made all the right motions that were a few more shots towards the head, and they may have won that round instead. And again, we did say it's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes in this match. And again, Vex making a few mistakes on each round. We pointed some out in the last few rounds, but we'll see what happens here and how iBUYPOWER change their strat for this buy round. Again, the last round they had lots of people mid, one guy B, one guy, well, AZK was where AZK is now, but now they're all focusing around long and mid. So we'll see what kind of strat iBUYPOWER have for us on this round.
I am excited. Now, the fact that Vex have got it this close demonstrates both their ability and their willingness to change and adapt. Not this time, though. Janori goes down screaming in agony to Steel's AK, and now looking to respond in force is Fox. He's got the AWP in just the right place. That smoke's going to make it difficult to spot, though. Steel's looking to throw a flash out as well as he's going to be crossing over. This could be pressure on towards Fox. He finds it in the form of SkDoodle. And a bit of an AWP v AWP action. It's what we like to see here at FACEIT. So 3v4.
It was a good flash there from Steel over the wall, but you could see it wasn't a true pop flash. It was a telegraphed flash. The guy on site saw it coming and turned around, wasn't flashed by it. Was picked off by SkDoodle, however, but it shows you the power of the pop flashes and the difference they can make in situations like this.
Yeah, and then we'll probably go over some of those actually after the game, so do stick around. We saw a great example of some of the Molotovs on towards Inferno, so do stick around for James's little tutorials. He needs to think of a name for them.
Yeah, some kind of cheesy name.
Minutes with James. Let's see what Nato's got for us then. He's coming hungry. Oh, he's looking to pick it up. Didn't quite do the damage he needed to. Finally onto Swag with a wallbang. SkDoodle just seems to be such a player with this AWP in hand. You mentioned him before. Big tag on towards Mamin. Only 5 HP to his name now, and he's going to be pretty running for the hills on that CT side. Going to try and save it. Something, anything. Steel's on the hunt, though, and he's going to... Oh, I thought he was going to land it, but it took his time with it.
He might have landed it if his gun wasn't on burst fire, but he quickly switched it back to single fire, so I think that was a mistake there.
Oh, so 12-10. iBUYPOWER, this is something I wasn't expecting to see. Seeing Vex in double digits, seeing that possibility there, I do feel like iBUYPOWER still are driving and kind of setting where they want these games to go. But right now, it's SkDoodle towards mid. Not going to connect with anything just yet, though.
Okay, so now we've got some strats here. We've got teammates flashing for teammates, but it's could this be too little too late? Because I mean that's one of the first semblances of team play we've seen here from Vex.
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, they seem to know each other. They seem to know what their teammate's going to be doing when, and I don't know whether that's just comms or that's just playing with the same group of people for an extended period of time. Still on the exchange in mid, not going to get anything just yet.
Okay, one thing worth mentioning on the T side of iBUYPOWER is when Vex were on the T side, they pretty much had the same setup every round, and iBUYPOWER, the last 3 rounds has been completely different. So they're keeping the CTs guessing as to where they can expect players to be. The only thing that's been the same is AZK has been, sorry about that, AZK has been around long every round, and you can see he's just hanging around there, being passive. Other than that, iBUYPOWER have been mixing up their play every round. So Vex don't really know what to expect, what's going on. You can see Fox not sure where to go. One round, someone did get caught out where he was standing, and if you get peeked there, there's basically no retreat. Oh, nice shot there from Fox.
Great play on towards Steel. That's going to be a vital frag as well, as he's going to be now hunted. He goes down. Swag picks up his partner in crime on that CT defense. It's not going to go down too well for AZK, though. Or it is. Oh, BME. 5 HP to his name now. But he did manage to bring AZK down with him. 3v2, and now the iBUYPOWER desperate to secure this 13th round. Big one for them. CT started looking a little bit weak at the knees. Swag's jumping up and down. He's aware of the price he's paid already in his health. BME is running to the hills, if the hills are the spawn. And we see Swag's going to be trying to pick him up from behind. And look at that. Oh, it's murder. Mamin trying to get away. But bullets into his back secure that kill. 12-10 is your scoreline, soon to be 13 when the explosives explode. Doing exactly what it says on the tin there. So 13 rounds for iBUYPOWER. And I mean, iBUYPOWER just so close now to that 16 mark. Vex do have that capability to challenge them. And looking at that scoreboard, we see some individual kind of displays of skill there from maybe Vex.
Yeah, but they're going to be on an eco round here. They have one AK, but other than that, they've got the P shooters. So, you know, again, with the P shooters, they could convert if they play it right. It's going to be hard to defend A with P shooters unless they take long, but they've got nobody on long, so that's not going to happen. So again, we're looking at 14-10 here, unless some kind of miracle just slays all of the T side where they stand.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice for Vex. But yeah, you know, it's going to be kind of game point. Well, it should be game point after this round for the iBUYPOWER team, and then it's going to be really hard for Vex to bring it back to overtime here. So let's see what they do here. Again, it's still.
Ooh, hello, Fox. That's exactly what he needed. Looks to secure the AK as well. That's going to make the round a little easier on the eyes.
2 AKs now.
2 AKs looking to expand their arsenal. Nelto goes down though. Nice BME. Look at making that AK work for him. Takes down Steel, and suddenly you're talking about miracles. This might be exactly what the doctor ordered. Heading towards that B site. AZK, though, is more than capable of defending this site. His teammates alongside him as well. And a little bit too much shown there. A bit too much flesh displayed by Mamin. Bomb goes down, though. T-side looking strong. Defensive play is looking a little weak. Swag finally takes down BME after a entire magazine was unloaded. And now the CT side quite happy with the way that round went. Managed to take 2 players down with them. Secured the 2 AKs. Oh, well, secured an AK. They started with 1. And they're going to be leaving that one 14-10.
Now, these guys, they don't really want to face here because they've got no armor. So it's not about exit frags on this map. It's about getting the hell out of there. But I was going to say, the retake would have been hard for them because, you know, whilst there was a guy with an AWP on the site, which is a bit more difficult for iBUYPOWER to hold if they get flashed, etc. The CTs had no nades to push the site with. So it was basically impossible to retake it unless it just went mad with headshots. So they saved 2 weapons, so that's good for them.
Yeah, and that double save could pay them up, put them in good stead going into this round. They really need to secure this one. They know exactly what happens if they do reach that 15. They know that just how much confidence that's going to give iBUYPOWER. And look at this, Fox aggressive on short. We saw it work for
what's he doing?
Skadoodle. He's not really sure.
He can hear them running around, I guess. He's trying to rotate.
And look at this positioning. Oh, it's just messy play from Vex on such an important round. iBUYPOWER have just squatted over them. And
with an AWP. I mean, look how fast that round was. What is going on? Like,
I think different players have sat down in their seats.
What's the decision-making process there? Like, he jumped down into the middle of mid. He could have jumped down onto the boxes or had his teammate flash into CT or behind him or whatever. But he just jumped in with an AWP. If he has to shoot fast, if he misses his shot, he's dead, and he died. And you know, that could have been. Well, I mean, it's basically curtains for them now. They have a very mixed buy. 2 of them dead already.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. It's like deathmatch here.
It does feel like a little bit of a public server right now. Vex started. They have little glimmers of hope, little kind of individual plays shining through the otherwise pretty uncut diamond right now. GG's in chat, and they all accept that unless Natu injects something into his system, this is a good game for all. There he goes. Skadoodle waves goodbye. 16-10 is your scoreline. And I am impressed by iBUYPOWER in that one. Admittedly, they could have maybe done that a bit sooner, perhaps.
I wonder if those last 2 rounds were just peculiar to say the least for me.
Yeah, they kind of just gave it away.
Yeah, I don't understand why Fox just jumped down. I wonder if he was like dejected or something, because he just jumped down like he's playing.
It could have been a bad call. They could have said double doors and he was already pushed all the way up to CT, something along those lines.
You can jump down under cover.
That's true.
And then turn so you're ready to face and shoot fast with the York. But he just jumped down and was like, I don't know, it just didn't.
It did feel a little bit kind of.
It didn't make any sense to me. But I mean, there are a bunch of things I want to point out for.
Well, we can do that, can't we?
Yeah, if producer can switch us into the game, then we can. It's loading at the moment, but when we go in, we can show you a lot of things that I feel like Vex were missing from their side. So if we just we'll go on the T side and demonstrate a few things. We've got our bots hanging out. Hello,
Minutes
guys.
with James.
Just going to leave these. Oops.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to show us is around that long area.
Yeah, well, we'll start with long. I mean, when they were on the T side, they didn't push long a single time. We
had one player splitting.
I think they might have. Yeah, they might have had one round early, which maybe put them off, and then one other round. But for example, if they're afraid of, say, getting AWP'd if they face this area, then they can smoke it off. I mean, you can just a really easy one: stand in this corner, aim for this slip, and throw a smoke. I mean, it could not be easier. And you'll see that smokes the corner. So it's easier for you to come out. Obviously, you still need flashes because people can be pit or whatever, but that makes it easier for you to come and open up this area. Even if you have no intention of pushing up here because you're scared of Skadoodle ripping your face off, which is fairly reasonable.
I mean, it's a very valid worry.
There are still reasons to kind of take control of this area. A, because say you want to push B, for example. If you take control of this area first, I mean, looking at their T side, a lot of their pushes were when it had 30 seconds left. You start with 1 minute 45. So you've got time to take control of this area, then send the rest of your team back over there, or just leave this area entirely. But you have to make the other team think maybe you're going to come this way, or whatever. And once you get here, here's an example we saw in a match closely of a pop flash. If you leave one guy here, then he can throw a pop flash out and peek and just cause havoc over in this area. And again, on the T side, we had Fox, who was just hanging around on short on his own. And I mean, I don't know if he was here to just try and get a pick. If he did get a pick, his team weren't in a position really to act that fast on it, because it's not like they were on short. They were all down here, down mid. So it's going to take them a while. The CTs will probably, if they do rotate, they'll probably rotate and get to site faster than they would. And on the times where, like you saw one time he was creeping out here like do, and then Skadoodle just appeared from behind the box and again ripped his head off. But one problem is he's here on his own. Another problem is he's not cutting out any parts of the site for people. Now, one thing when you're trying to take short as a terrorist is if you stand here. This is one of many smokes called a fanatic smoke because they come up with a hell of a lot of smokes. If you make these two walls kiss and then you follow this line or whatever this line is over here and just throw smoke there, then that will land here. So that cuts off a lot of places you get peeked on while you approach the site. Makes it a lot easier to take the bomb site. There are also smokes you can do for the corner of site. This can also be used as a retake smoke to defuse a bomb when it's planted in the corner, but it also cuts off a lot of sight. But not just that. If you have pushed here earlier in the round and you have a guy who's taking long, sorry. If there is someone, say, on Goose or on Barrels, that smoke also stops them peeking the guy long. So it just makes it easier to have a two-pronged attack onto the A bomb site. And it's those kind of things. I mean, these are fairly easy to learn, really basic smokes. And along with some flashes as well, these are things that Vex can use to their advantage to help them take bomb sites, because it was clear to me that they needed strats in that game. And with those smokes as well, if you have a guy who's down here, you could just do a jumping flash like that, which I'm just doing this on the fly, but you can do it here, which is a lot better. And then that goes off, it flashes anybody looking in this area while it's behind all your teammates. You can see where it goes up there, behind all your teammates, so they can push the site. Just makes life a bit easier. And there's things like that I think were missing from the T side of Vex. I mean, really, they spent so much time in mid. They didn't really take any duels. I suppose they felt like the CTs were better aimers than them, but you still, at some point, you're going to have to take some duels, or at least push. If they're better duelers than you, then smoke off the site, deny them vision so you can push the site and get the bomb down. But again, it was quite lacking. I was really surprised that they managed to get 6 rounds on the T side. For what they were doing, I think there was quite a lot for them. So that was good for them. And again, the strat they were doing, I think we saw it at least 5 times from them, maybe 7 times, was basically throwing this smoke here and then pushing up to B. So this basically smokes off CT, so you can't be seen, you can't be shot in the back, and then away you go. And I think it might have been Daze, I'm not quite sure, who threw a flash like that, so it bounced quite far ahead of where they might be, which makes them more susceptible to being flashed as they approach the B site. Whereas most people in that situation, coming from the A bomb site, will just throw a flash down there. It's going to be behind a lot of people. But yeah, so I think that's most of what I wanted to cover in that map. So I think we should be coming back to you after this with a semi-final. So we'll get the bracket updated, and then hopefully we'll display it during the break so you can see what's coming up. We're going to have 2 semi-finals, and we're going to stream both of them. But in the meantime, during the break, check out the FACEIT website. Again, we have leagues and ladders on there, daily cups as well. If you don't have anyone to play with, feel free to add me. My username on there is JZFB. We're always playing pugs and things on there, so you can come and help me win some points and try and win those knives. As you can see, those are the knives right there. So I think if you're in the top league, you can win that Huntsman knife. I'm in the gold league, which I think is the second top one. I was in the top one last time, but I think I'm too much of a nab this time. Now more people are on it.
He's making excuses.
So yeah, I got annihilated by Swedish people last time, and then this time it seems to be like Romanians, I think, who are blowing me up. So
well, maybe if you guys think you can beat James, get onto the FACEIT.com website. But from us here at the studio, we'll be right back with you with our semi-final game as soon as we have it. But do stick around, guys, and maybe spread that link around if you're enjoying it.